Today we're going to talk about residential care, elder care, things of that type. It's very complex. There's very, very many layers to it. You can have in-home health, out-of-home health. You can have hospice in-home, hospice out of the home. You may be in acute care. You may be in long-term care. You may be in what's called a medical village. Sometimes they're calling it now instead of nursing homes or senior centers. My name's Mike Ashworth. I'm with the Worth Law Office. I know quite a bit about residential care. Partly one, my brother has Down syndrome, and so my dad was in charge of placement for special people like Greg when we were growing up. So I learned quite a bit about that there. And in addition, I've had to do it for my brother. In addition, in my 40 years as a lawyer, soon to be as of October 6th, about half my career roughly has been spent working specifically on cases involving residential care, from in-home care, home health nursing, all the way to nursing homes, all the way to hospitals. You need to make sure that you stay on top of your loved ones when they're in those care situations. Please keep a chart, a dossier of all the records associated with their care. And it's important you understand that you have rights. If you have someone going into a residential care environment, you might want to talk to a probate lawyer. We can recommend some great ones to do what's known as a power of attorney. That power of attorney, while that person is alive, gives you the ability to act on their behalf. And that allows you, in many instances, to gather nursing home records, medical records, hospital records, bills, prescriptions, things of that type. Those could be essential. And just because someone's in a nursing home and their body's breaking down through the natural processes of growing old, that doesn't mean that, well, their death or their treatment is excusable. They're not expendable. And they have a right to a dignity at the end of their life. And if they're not being treated right, if they're being tied up against their will, which I've seen happen, believe it or not, overly medicated, they're not being allowed to achieve the highest degree of normalcy, that's not right. And that's the test I use when I look at nursing home cases. That ain't right. So if you have that situation, call me, Mike Ashworth, at TulsaPersonalInjuryLawyer.Pro for the internet, or 918-924-5528.